guys, this is Casey Ashmore back in the studio this morning, and I'm visiting with y'all about Texas family law. I'm doing a deep dive on, right now, Texas protective orders and Texas restraining orders. Temporary protective orders, temporary restraining orders, they're confusing, they sound alike, they do different things. Before I jump into that, I want everyone who's watched this video series or any of my video series to know that we are not ignorant of what is going on in our nation, that we know that our nation is being rocked not only by crushing economic conditions due to coronavirus, but also by what has happened in Minnesota as a result of the death of Mr. Floyd. We are sending heartfelt prayers and wishes for solidarity to all of our countrymen, and especially our African American neighbors, friends, colleagues, countrymen, that this is something that we can all overcome. And I remind myself often that the motto of the United States of America is E pluribus unum, out of many, one. We are one people. And this video series has to do with family violence cases in Texas. And it's something I'm passionate about, and I do a lot of family law matters. I volunteer on child protective services cases and work with CASA in Van Zant, Kaufman, and Rockwall counties, which, that if you don't know, give it a Google. It's worth a Google. Lone Star CASA and CASA of East Texas, and what they do for our most at-risk children in our communities is phenomenal, and it is absolutely a privilege to support that. But Title IV protective orders are temporary protective order, and it's essentially, the nickname, the nomenclature is kick-out order, and it sets out some prohibitions of conduct and excludes one spouse from the marital residence, and it's to prevent family violence, and it must be supported by an affidavit of family violence. And then there will be, after the initial hearing without the other side, a hearing that includes both sides with witnesses and anything they want to put on. It's actually one of the few times in Texas courts where you can have a hearing without knowing any of the evidence against you, and they can be extremely beneficial and they can be extremely detrimental, because it is like walking into a surprise attack for both sides, because nobody knows what the other side's really going to say. You might have some ideas, but nobody knows what is going to be said or be proven. And temporary restraining orders work in a lot like a protective order. The initial hearing without the other side, just you, your lawyer, the judge, the order of the court restrains the other side from doing things like draining bank accounts, engaging in conduct that disturbs the peace of the other spouse or the children, but it stops short of kicking that spouse out of the house, and it doesn't rise to the level of the protective order because it's not alleging family violence. Then, just like the temporary protective order, within a few weeks of the issuance of the temporary restraining order, there's a full-blown hearing. Very similar. Don't know what is going to be alleged or proved. Neither side really gets any discovery or disclosure before that hearing, and they can be dangerous, and they can be very beneficial, because facts come to light and the court questions some of the accusations, or sometimes it validates some of those accusations. So, if you're facing a protective order or restraining order hearing situation, don't take those lightly, because they can be dangerous simply because of the great unknown as to what evidence is going to be offered and proved in the ruling of the court. I'm going to get into that a little more in the next segment. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the studio in a minute on this next bit on TROs and protective orders in Texas family law.